Every week on the Endzone presented by Sony, we do the game of the week. Sometimes it's tougher than others to decide which is the game of the week. This week, there's no doubt about it. Giants, Steelers. Hey, how are you, folks? Jason Horowitz. Glad to be alongside CBSSports.com's Clark Judge. CBS Sports' Ian Eagle. And guys, when you look at this game, it was clear this was the game of the week. But when you look at it, Clark, what is the key for these two teams?
Well, I think the key for the Giants is holding off the edge pass rushers. I mean, you've got great strength for Pittsburgh at the linebacking spot, and especially on the outside, and they rush the edges very well. You've got to contain them, so it's up to the tackles to keep them off of Eli Manning, because what do we know? One thing we know about Pittsburgh is you can't run against these guys. Now, as far as the Giants go, I mean, they've got to take advantage. I think if Troy Polamalu doesn't play, they've got to take advantage of that. Now, Polamalu's iffy. I don't think he's going to play because he's coming off of concussion, but you've got to take advantage of that. This is a very difficult game to win, but it can be won. It's going to be physical.
But Ian, the Giants last week against the 49ers, yeah, they won. It wasn't pretty. It was ugly. It was pedestrian. The passing game wasn't there. Even if Polamalu doesn't play, is this Giants team starting to maybe go off track a little bit offensively?
Well, no, I think the big key also is making sure that your trainer gets a good night's sleep on Saturday, because they're going to be busy on Sunday. As Clark said, this is going to be a very physical game, and these players are going to feel it Monday morning, maybe even Tuesday. Two of the hardest hitting teams in the NFL with a lot of pride. The Giants come in. Coming off that game that you just mentioned, Jason, I do think the Giants almost feel like they have something to prove. Following the loss, not everybody walked away looking at the Giants like, oh, okay, they're back. Jason, I think it's a common theme right now that maybe the Giants are a little bit off kilter. The passing game has not been what they were hoping it would be at this stage. Burress is a star, but we've got some issues behind the scenes. Smith is coming along nicely. Hickson is developing. Amani Toomer is not the same guy right now. Manningham is a non-factor. Their tight ends are a non-factor. So it is a concern.
And, of course, Jeremy Shockey is not there. So, you know, Kevin Boss has not been the guy that they hope would replace him. But you mentioned PLAXICO Burress. That is an interesting subplot to this game, because he's going back to face Pittsburgh.
Absolutely.
And they don't like him there.
No, that's right. But I think he's got something to prove here. I mean, it's funny because Ian mentioned him, and I think PLAXICO Burress, he's right. He's got some issues. But going into Pittsburgh, you can put those aside, because I think he wants to demonstrate to them, you made a mistake. Look what you're missing here. I mean, I'm a terrific receiver. He is Eli Manning's best target out there. He's a great goal line, red zone threat. I think he's a factor there. If I'm Pittsburgh, I'm worried about PLAXICO Burress.
But they won a Super Bowl without him. Now, he can go back and say, hey, look, I won a Super Bowl without you.
Correct.
Right. So both have their own Super Bowl rings. You know, on the other side for Pittsburgh, the other topic heading into the weekend is Heinz Ward and Troy Polamalu's comments about it being a pansy league and the fines. And all. There are some distractions there here.
Yeah, but to me, that was for the sole purpose to set a tone with the league. To let them know early in the season that, hey, look, we're going to keep playing the way that we're playing. We're going to put you on notice. Yes, of course, the comments are going to be talked about. They're going to be criticized and taken apart. Ultimately, the Steelers can't change who they are. This is how they play on both sides of the ball. Heinz Ward is not going to change who he is. This is what got him to this point in his career. Troy Polamalu. And the interesting part for me with Polamalu, having interviewed him a number of times, he's very soft-spoken. He's not a guy that will just pop off. So for him to come out and make the statements that he made last week shows me that this was a very conscious decision by the Steelers, by Polamalu, by Tomlin, to make sure the league understands, hey, we are who we are. It's not going to change. We're going to try to at least alert you, because come December, we're going to be hitting hard. That's just who we are. It's not going to change.
And they better hope they have some players left who can hit hard. Now, there is one guy who also needs to get some protection. You talked about, can the Giants protect Eli Manning? Can the Steelers protect Ben Roethlisberger, because they haven't done it all season?
He's taking huge hits this year.
He has taken huge hits. This could be a physical game. I mean, I think it's no secret this game's going to be won at the line of scrimmage. And you look at the Giants pass rush. The Giants pass rush is effective. That front four can bring pressure, unlike most teams. And they get it from Justin Tuck's one of the guys. They've got a terrific group of guys who can press the pocket. But the one thing I know about Roethlisberger is what I saw him in Jacksonville. He is tough, and he makes plays where others can't. I don't deny Ben Roethlisberger is going to get hit, but he's a tough quarterback. He's going to hang in there. I do think the Giants have got to get him and at least hit him and beat him up a little bit, but he's going to hang in there.
And guys, on the flip side, Eli Manning is not accustomed to being on his back. They've done a great job protecting him through the years. He's going to see a lot of different looks from Dick LeBeau, the zone blitz, the design blitz, and what does that do? It throws off your timing in the downfield passing game, and that's where the Giants really could be out of sync. It takes a toll on you physically, and it does take a toll on you mentally because everything just seems to be a beat off. And with Eli Manning, the big key is going to be whether or not he can battle through that, and the Giants, do they have enough offense to win this game?
And Brandon Jacobs, if he can barrel through the line, can certainly help keep everybody off Eli Manning. Let's take our winners, and you go first.
You know what? I'm going to go with the Steelers because the Willie Parker injury took place. The Steelers have not really missed a beat in their running game. But Welde Moore steps in. He was 4th string when this season started, and Parker may be coming back for the Steelers. I like Pittsburgh in a fairly low-scoring game, 20 to 13, somewhere in that range, 20 to 17. I'm going to take Pittsburgh.
I like the Steelers if Polamalu plays. I don't think he plays, therefore I take the G-men.
All right, I like the Steelers as well if he doesn't play because of the fact of the front 7 for Pittsburgh. I think it's better than the front 7 for the Giants. And I know that's tough to say about the defending Super Bowl champs, but I think the front 7 for Pittsburgh is better than the Giants' defensive front 7. Roethlisberger has a better day than Eli Manning. Steelers win. Folks, check out more of the End Zone, including, well, Mike Nolan. He's no longer the head coach. We know their front 7 isn't very good. What about the rest of the team for San Francisco? Where do they go with Mike Singletary? Check all of it out on the End Zone, presented by Sony. For Clark and Ian, I'm Jason. Take care, folks.